What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Babbles Nonsense podcast. On today's episode, I am doing a Q&A. Y'all all submitted questions, and I'm going to give you the answers to the best of my ability. So stay tuned if you are interested in this topic. Alright guys, so you're going to see me looking at the computer screen so that I can answer the questions that you all submitted. So I had a Q&A box on Instagram and I have to look at the computer screen and I cannot look at the phone screen. So I've been trying my best to do somewhat of a visual podcast, even though it's not up visually like me answering live. But I've been doing my best to record it and put it on TikTok. So if you're not following me on TikTok, I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe my TikTok user handle is Babbles Nonsense all together. And you'll see more visual stuff there than on Instagram just because it has a long format. But I have the questions on my computer, so I have to obviously look at my computer because y'all all submitted questions that I have to answer. So I have looked at these questions, but I have not written down formal answers. So bear with me on if I have to take pauses or whatever, because some of these caught me a little off guard. Some of them I was just what are you asking? And even I had to ask the person, what are you asking? And they were like, you said anything goes. And I was like, yes, I did, but make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? And these are in no order, no format. I try to categorize them, but then I was like, you know what? This is just too much thought process. Let's just answer them as they come in. So one of them, so we're just going to go in order. Okay. Are you dating anyone right now? The answer is no. I'm not dating anyone. I am single. I have been in situationships where people want to claim me as theirs, but then they don't quote unquote make me theirs. So I have been loyal to a fault and I have to stop doing that. So no, the answer is I'm single. I'm currently not dating anyone. Next question. Why don't we ever see you on dates? The answer is because I don't like it. I don't like the thought of it. I don't like going on dates. I don't like putting myself out there on dates. So I just don't do it. I also just don't put it out there. I know I joke around and say that I'm going to put out a podcast where I'm on a dating expedition. I don't love it. I'm on a dating app. I'm on Hinge right now. I'll just be honest about that. I will literally not sign on for 3 weeks. And I have messages. And of course, by the time I answer the messages, the person's probably already married at that point. So no, you don't ever see me on dates because I don't go on them. The next question is, would you date someone who slid into your DMs? Probably. Just depends. What's the vibe? Are you attractive? Are we on an attraction level? Can you communicate well? So the answer is probably. It just depends. I'm not opposed to it, but it has to be the right vibes. The next question. What's the biggest red flag you ignore every time? I would say the biggest red flag I probably ignore is when someone tells me who they are. When someone is let's just go with the flow. I'm sure, I can do that. I can go with the flow. But also at the same time, that is also a red flag because yes, we all want to go with the flow, but to what extent? Where are we flowing? What's the extent of this? What is your ultimate goal? I can go with the flow. I don't have a timeline. I don't have a 2 months, 6 months, whatever. But where are we flowing? Are we flowing into a relationship? Are we wanting the same things? And I think that I am really bad about asking that. I think I'm really bad about being this is ultimately what I want. What do you want? I'm cool with going quote unquote with the flow, but you got to tell me where we're flowing. Next question. What's your current type, or are you in your quote unquote no type era? I don't think I have a type. If I have a type, it's toxic. That is my type. I think it's from childhood trauma. I think that I attract what I'm used to in my childhood trauma. But I don't necessarily, when we're talking about like a looks wise, when people are like, oh, I like blonde hair, blue eye, like I don't have a type necessarily that way. Now, if we're like looking like, what do you go for? Like, what is your turn on? Like communication. Like, can you carry on a sentence past, hi, how are you? Like, can you actually have a conversation? That is my type. Next question. Do you believe in second chances, or is blocked forever blocked? Well, we all know I'm the queen of third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th chances. And I say that lightly because I believe in potential, and I know that we're not supposed to date for potential, but I do believe in potential, and I truly feel for people because I've been there. Like, we all have been there, right? Like when we know where someone could be. But the problem is like, if we're going back to red flags, my red flag is that I date for potential, and I feel like I can change someone and I can't. Like, no one can ever change someone. The person has to want to change themselves. So yes, I believe in second chances, but at the same time, it's like, at what extent? Like, when do we have to put self-respect first? When do we have to say, like, I have to respect myself before I give you a second chance? So it's all caveats. Like, it's all situational. It's not just like, oh, this is a blanket statement. It's all based on individuals. All right, next question. And also, I hate saying next question. Like, I really wanted my friend Ivy to actually ask the questions, but she was busy, so I'm having to ask and answer, so it's just awkward. How soon is too soon to sleep with someone? I don't know the answer to that, because, like, if you ask a therapist, like, wait till you're in a committed relationship. I'm all about intuition. Like, if the first date's the first date, then whatever. But if also at the same time, like, if you're getting player vibes, like, then you need to wait. Like, it's all about intuition. Like, what are the vibes? What are you feeling from this person? What do you want? Like, are you just wanting a hookup, or are you wanting a committed relationship? Like, if you're, like, honestly, from a girl's perspective, if you're looking to have a serious relationship with someone and you want someone to take you seriously, then you're going to have to wait. That's just my personal preference. Like, I'm not saying that's true for all men, all women. I'm not going to sleep with someone on the first date because for me, for women, like, I feel like sex is emotional and it's not just like a hookup. There are women out there that can do that. I'm just not one of them. So for me, I think that it's when the timing is right for you personally and what you're looking for. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I don't think like looking for someone on the first date versus like the 20th date. I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. I think what is right for you and what feels right to you is the correct answer, you know? Next question. Have you ever regretted giving someone grace? For me, no, because I give everyone grace because I want to be given grace. I have been diving into my faith a lot lately. And for me, like, I want someone to give me grace because I'm not perfect. No human is perfect. I think we all make mistakes. I think that we all walk this path in the way that we feel is right in the moment, but we regret things. And I've never regretted giving someone grace. I have regretted sometimes saying things in that moment. But at the same time, like, as far as like giving someone grace, no, I think we all as humans deserve grace because we've all been there where we've made mistakes. But I've never regretted giving grace. Next question. Would you rather be single forever or with the wrong person forever? I think I would rather be single forever. So backstory, guys, I've been single, quote unquote, single for a long time. If we're talking like someone claiming me, someone calling me their girlfriend, someone putting me in a relationship. I've been single for a very long time. Like, I've been in situationships. I have liked people. I have dated people, but like to be called someone's girlfriend, it's been a very long time. So I've been single for a very, very long time, and I've gotten set in my ways. I'm older now. And I personally would rather be single and doing my own thing than be stuck in something that I'm miserable in. Yes, like being single sometimes can be miserable. I'm not going to lie. Like, you're lonely, you want things that you want and you don't have someone there. But at the same time, like, you're not having to answer to someone. You're not having to have all these questions and running through your head or whatnot. And so I would rather just be single and be in those situationships where I can just go back to my place, cry if I need to cry, drink if I need to drink, binge out on some pizza if I need to binge out on some pizza. But at the ultimate time, like, I have my space to do that for me. So being single versus being in a miserable relationship, 1000% always. All right, next question. What's up with all the TikTok dances? Is this a thirst trap or is it therapy? All right. Thank you for asking, whoever asked this. But like, no, TikTok dances is not a thirst trap for me. It's funny. I have always loved to dance. Like, I'm not professionally trained in any matter. I was not on a dance team. I was on a cheerleading squad at one point. Embarrassing moment for me. Actually, let's just go ahead and talk about that. Backstory. I was a cheerleader for a little bit. I hung out with a lot of people, like unpopular, popular, whatever. So I was on the cheerleading squad, and at the pep rally one time when they were introducing cheerleaders, I believe it had to be my 10th grade year because we entered a new high school, and in my 9th grade year, we were in the old high school. So my 10th grade year, I was on the cheerleading squad, and they were introducing the cheerleaders or whatever. And we had to like do some kind of jump, herky, toe touch, whatever. I believe I did the herky. I tried gymnastics. I suck at it because I don't trust myself enough to do like a back handspring, whatever. And I fell at the pep rally. So embarrassing. So no, TikTok dancing for me is not a thirst trap. It's actually embarrassing because I'm like, really, do I want to put this out there? Like, thank God for my best friend, Lori. She has to like look at like 20 of the videos that I send her to pick one. Like, which one do you like? It's because I really like dancing. I really do. I enjoy it. It's like therapeutic for me. So I guess if we're answering thirst trap versus therapy, I would say it's more therapy for me. It's therapeutic. I really like to learn it. I like to try, like, I'm not technically trained. I honestly have thought multiple times about doing dance classes, but I don't know if Huntsville has them. I probably need to look into that and see to kind of like learn some basic moves. But I think that I'm good at like imitating. I don't know. There's some more TikTok dances that I have saved that I want to learn. So I'm always behind the trend though. That's the problem. Like, I do them and I'm behind the trend because I just don't have the time. Like, I just don't have the time to practice. Like, I get the moves down like within a couple of hours, but then like to perfect it, to make it to my own, to make it like look decent, it takes a couple of days. Not because it takes days within like the amount of time. It takes time like as far as practicing. Like, if we're talking about like if I sat down, learned it, perfected it, put my own spin on it, I could probably do it in 24 hours, but I just don't have the time because I work a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, probably if I'm answering this question, therapy. Next question. Do you make TikToks for yourself or for someone watching? I make them for myself. I make them for no one watching because number one, no one watches them. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to be quote unquote TikTok famous. I'm just doing them for me and putting them out there. And also because my best friend Lori has challenged me to do so. She does them. I think her TikToks are hilarious. So I was like, I want to be like you. So if we're talking about anything, I want to be like my best friend Lori. And I just put them out there, not for clout, not for likes, not for any views or anything like that. It's just honestly because I'm like, I did this. Someone should watch it. So if anybody does watch it, that's awesome. And then I also watched a TikTok one time where someone was like, if you ever ran across 20 people in real life that were like, you did a good job, That's a lot. So, and when like, if let's say we have 20 views on our TikToks, we're like, 20 views, like 20 people coming up to you in real life is a lot. So I do it for me. It's cool if people watch. Next question. What's your toxic trait on social media? What is my toxic trait on social media? Probably stalking. Like I stalk people's profiles like anybody else. Like women are FBI agents, I tell you. Like we can find out anything. Like if we're dating someone, we want to date someone, we can find out anything. If we're going to your page, seeing who you like to go to someone else's page, trust me, that's probably a toxic trait because we can get down a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole. I would have to say that would be it. Next question. Do you delete posts when you're over a guy? I'm assuming this is like if you posted someone, I wouldn't know. I can't answer this question because I've never posted a guy. Every guy I've ever dated has kept me anonymous, secret, if you will. So I've never had to do that. I have never had to delete someone. So let me think futuristic. Would I delete a guy if I'm over them and they're on my social media page? I don't know. The question would be, I don't know. How good do I look in the photo? Like, that's a toxic trait. Like, how good do I look in that photo? And I guess it would depend. If I'm with a new relationship and I'm very serious with the relationship, I probably would, because I wouldn't want my new person to be insecure or to think that I was still in love with this person, because who knows? Next question. Do you delete posts when you're over a guy? Again, that goes back to the question I just answered. I can't really answer that because I've always been in quote unquote situationships. No one's ever really publicly posted me. Next question. Who do you block faster, exes or trolls? Trolls? I don't even block exes. Number one, I don't have exes. I have situationships. But if you want to look at my stuff, look at my stuff. The only time I block an ex is not for them. It's for me. It's so that I'm not stalking their page, looking at their stuff. It's for me. It's not for them. It's not so that they can't see my stuff. It's so that I can't see their stuff, because I don't want to see them doing all the stuff, like moving on and whatever. That's for me to move on. So I will 1000% block a troll, spam, whatever over an ex. Next question. Do you believe in the soft block? I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can Google what a soft block is real quick so that I know what that is to answer this question. A soft block is a term for a technique on social media where a user temporarily blocks another user and then immediately unblocks them to remove them as a follower without alerting them that they were blocked. No, that's toxic. I didn't even know what that was. I don't do that. If I'm going to block you, I'm going to block you. If I don't want you to see my stuff, I don't want you to see my stuff. I don't need you to like block, unblock, whatever. Anyways, so no. The answer to that is no. The next question is, would you ever dye your hair a different color? So I'm naturally redheaded. I get actually asked that all the time. Like, what color is your natural hair? Naturally redheaded. Actually, like technically, I guess the term is strawberry blonde. My hair has always gotten blonder in the summer when I'm in the sun. It's redder in the winter. So sometimes, occasionally, I will put blonde highlights in the summer in my hair. So yes, I have put blonde. I have asked multiple hairstylists to dye my hair completely blonde before, and they won't do it. None of them. Every one of them says no, because they're like, you'll regret it. You have naturally beautifully red hair. But it kills me because a lot of people are like, why do you dye your hair? You have such beautiful red hair. Because I'm like anyone else. I'm like anyone else that's like, I'm bored. Let's change it up. I don't think that I would go anything different than that. I will say in high school, I did do low lights. So like I had red hair and I did low lights with like, brown, which was a temporary color, which washes out. So my hairstylist put some brown in my hair. Loved it. It washed out. So it wasn't It didn't last very long. So I don't think I would do anything drastic. I have tried to dye my hair blonde multiple times. Nobody will do it. And I'm too afraid to do it myself. So I think what we see is what we get, and that's what we're sticking to. Next question. Are you a natural red hair? Yes, I'm naturally redheaded. Again, the term is strawberry blonde. Yeah. And then I got a question that says, is it true about redheads? I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're asking. Follow all the TikToks on that. There's a whole thing about what redheads get asked on a daily basis. Like, does the carpet match the drapes? Like, redheads get asked all the time. Like, we're fetishized. Like, yes, like all of that. Just go find the TikToks on that. And I'm not going to answer that. Next question. How long does it take you to get ready for these TikTok dances? I mentioned it briefly earlier. It doesn't, like, honestly, if I had the time, like if I had just had one day, like let's say I woke up and I didn't have to go to the gym, meal prep, all the stuff. If I just had one day, if I could just wake up, learn the dance, perfect the dance, and put out the dance, it would probably take me probably 1 to 2 days, because obviously I'm not going to do that for 24 hours. But like realistically, because I have other things to do, like a job, meal prepping and stuff like that, it takes me about a week to get it like down, like practice it, perfect it, put my spin on it. It takes me about a week. Next question. What's one thing you'll never change about your looks? One thing I'll never change about my looks. I guess like fully my hair color. Like, yes, I put highlights and stuff in it, but I guess that counts as changing it. Let's say my personality, because that's never going anywhere. I know that's not your looks, but it kind of is. It's kind of your personality at the end of the day. That's not going anywhere. The next question says, how's your filler journey going? It's better. So actually, okay. Y'all have all, if you've been listening to the filler under my eyes, that's finally like dissipated, if that's the word. I think that's the word. But I stupidly at the same time, 8 years ago, got filler in my laugh lines. It's called the nasolabial folds. And recently it's turned firm. So I've been dissolving that. And weirdly, as I've been dissolving that, my under eye filler under the left eye that's kind of still had that little swelling has gotten better. It's almost always gone. I'm assuming because it had nowhere to go. So I'm kind of slowly dissolving the filler in my laugh lines that made me look older than I was at the time. And that's been a journey because, you're used to looking at your face. Like I talk to my friends all the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I look crazy. They're like, you literally look the same. But we're used to looking at our face. Like even in videos, like how like you can turn your iPhone where it's like almost inverted like a mirror. And if it's the other way, you're just like, I don't look the same, because you're used to looking at your face in a mirror inversion or whatever. And so that's been a journey. So I'm just trying to get all the filler out of my face that I did like 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago that I wish I would have never done. Don't recommend. Would rather have plastic surgery. So if I start looking older in a couple days, y'all know why. I'm dissolving all the filler in my face. Like the under eye filler is finally gone. The only other filler that's left is in my lips and in my nasolabial folds, which is your laugh lines. I will not dissolve the ones in my lips because y'all do not want to see that. But it is what it is. I'm almost 40. You know what I'm saying? I've got to start embracing my aging. Next question. Have you ever had plastic surgery? And do you believe in plastic surgery? So yes, I have had plastic surgery. I actually had breast implants in 2010, had them redone in 2015, I believe, because my left implant displaced. And then I had them actually officially removed in 2017. And then if you've been following along with the filler journey, I had a blepharoplasty, which is skin removal under the eyes and above the eyes in 2022 because of a filler mishap. So that was like a surgical correction from filler. And so, yes, I do believe in plastic surgery at this point. After everything that I've been through, the research that I've done, plastic surgery, like obviously you have to research your surgeon because surgery is permanent. I believe more so in the surgical route because I feel like it is permanent. As long as you have a good surgeon, they're reputable, it seems to be more bang for your buck versus like doing all this other stuff that could potentially go wrong and then you have to have a surgical correction at the end. That's just my personal experience because I have obviously had random things happen. So yes, I do believe in that. Next question. Do you think your vibe intimidates men? I don't know. You tell me. Like, probably. I kind of can come off bitchy. I'm not going to lie. I think it's just because it takes a lot to impress me. And so, yes, yes, my vibe probably does intimidate people because I'm not overly talkative initially. Like, believe it or not, even with this podcast, like I am a little bit shy and reserved at first. It takes a lot to like open me up. So yes, I would say probably it does. Next question. What's your go-to outfit when you want to break necks? I don't think I break necks, first of all, but I used to think it had to be something sexy. I used to think it had to like show off your body, but now being older, more mature, I really do believe that it's whatever you're comfortable in because whatever you're comfortable in is going to exude confidence. So currently in this era, it's 2025, fashion, I'm getting more comfortable in my fashion sense. So I do think like a little bit of a baggier jean, but also a hugging jean. So it's that balance. Like it's a balance of like finding a jean that is a little high-waisted, a little bit baggy, but also fits your curves, shows your booty, and then a tight top. I think right now in 2025, like obviously that's going to change as the time changes. That's what I find sexy, what I find confident in. And when I go out in that, because I exude the confidence, more people look at me. It used to be skinny jeans. I mean, that's what it used to be. I'm not going to lie. I still love some of my skinny jeans that I got because it shows off more of my curves. But at the moment, it's got to be like this perfect balance of this baggy fitted jean and a tight top, sneakers, whatever you're comfortable in, because confidence exudes sexiness, in my opinion. Next question. Do you feel more powerful now than you did in your last relationship? Well, I can't say that I've been in a lot. Like if we're talking about like my last situationship, then yes, because I've grown, I've learned from that. I am more self-confident in who I am. So I would say I feel more powerful in my self-confidence because that's what it's all about, right? Like every relationship, friendship, platonic relationship, romantic, whatever it is, we have to learn ourselves. And the more we learn ourselves, the more we can exude that confidence. And so, yes, I would say like every day is different. All right. So, more questions. How do you stay so fit? I have worked out for a really long time. I lift heavy weights. I am currently in training with Carrie Fit. I don't have my phone around me. Let me see if I can pull up on my computer Instagram so I can tell you exactly who I follow. It used to be Annie. Annie does not do one-on-one coaching anymore. Yes, I pulled up my Instagram. So let me just try to find her handle so y'all can all follow her. So it's _ Coach Kerr, K-E-R. She's my current personal trainer. My previous trainer, if you're not looking for like one-on-one, you're looking for like a, what's the word? Where you purchase and it's the template for everybody. I don't know what the word for that is. That is AnnieMiller.co. She also offers that. Love Annie, love Carrie. They're both phenomenal at coaching. I think that like they encourage me to do heavy lifting. So that's how I stay fit. I love to heavy lift. Like I used to be cardio queen, but I'm just going to tell you out there, cardio is not helping anyone. Like, yes, it's great for cardiovascular benefits, but it is not gaining you the muscle you want. Anytime I've ever like talked to a female and they're like, this is how I want to look. It's typically like, I want to look lean. I want to look muscular, but not too muscular. I don't want to look like a man. Women, we're not going to look like a man. We don't have enough testosterone. We just don't. And if you want to look lean and you want to look tight, sometimes that means gaining weight, and sometimes that means eating more calories, and sometimes that means lifting heavier weights. And so I think it took me a long time to like just experience that with coaches. And once I like leaned into it and trusted the right coaches, it just happened. I'm not going to lie. I have insulin resistant problems. I have thyroid issues. So I do have to take medication for my thyroid and my insulin resistance to help with the leanness. But I also train 4 days a week. I used to be one of these 6 days a week, like get up and go after it. But no, sometimes you don't have to do that. Everybody's different. Like you really need to work with a coach that can work with you on that. And then nutrition is 90%. Like I eat 90% clean most of the time. 10% I'm off the grid. Most of the stuff that I put on social media is 10% off the grid. 90% of the time I'm meal prepping. I'm not posting that. I used to, but I don't anymore. Hopefully that answers your question. Next question, what's your workout routine? So it's different. So I do a 6-week split with my coach currently. I let her know when I'm getting bored. Some coaches make you do 8 weeks, but for progression, I get bored. So we always keep the same lifts. Like my lifts are deadlifts, squats, push press, and chest press. And then the accessory muscles change because we're trying to do progressive overload to like build the muscle. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Don't have time for that. We're already 30 minutes into this podcast, which is crazy because I did not think I'd have this many questions. But my fitness routine is typically 4 days of lifting each week, but I also try to get my steps in every day of the week. I do try to give myself 1 day off a week where I don't have to meet any goals. What do you eat in a day? That is a very loaded question because it's different every day. I'm a meal prepper, true and true. I eat the same thing 4 days through. I am set currently at 2,100 calories per day, 125 grams of protein, 210 grams of carbs, and I believe, don't quote me on this, 65 to 70 grams of fat. That is my current macro and calorie split. We are increasing it because we're going into the fall. Always increase it in the fall because your girl wants to build a booty. We want to build a booty, and the way to build a booty is to increase your calories. So I think we're going to go to 2,300 calories. So I don't know the current macro split on that. Typically, protein stays the same. Fat and carbs go up depending on how your meal splits are. But that is where I'm at. So yes, you do, guys, I'm there with y'all when I hear people being like, what? Like I eat 1,200. You have to eat more to lose more weight. And I know that sounds crazy, but like once you do, and I know it sounds foreign, but once you do it, I've also coached it. And I've also coached a lot of women where they're like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified of doing that. Like once you do it and you actually see the progress results, it's crazy because what our body does is it accommodates to the calories we're giving it. So if we're slowing our metabolism, everything we're putting in our body is storing as fat for the winter because they don't know that we're not back in 1800 where we're sitting in a cave somewhere. Again, y'all don't quote me on history. Sitting in a cave somewhere where we're like, I need to gather berries and nuts for the winter. You know what I'm saying? Like, so get a coach, trust your coach, but also have a good coach. Next question. What's your workout playlist? That is different every time. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a podcast. So sometimes I'm listening to The Toast. Sometimes I'm listening to probably a podcast. What other podcast do I listen to? I listen to Kristen Cavallari's. I listen to, trying to think of all the podcasts. Some of these I should have like listed out. But as far as a playlist goes, this is going to sound crazy. R&B. I'm not a rock person. I'm not like a fast tempo person. Put me on some Chris Brown. Put me on some Kehlani. Anything that I just love and vibe to is just going to give me life. I don't have a specific playlist to work out to. I typically am listening to either a book because I'm in a book club. So I'm either listening to the book that book club has put out, or I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm listening to a playlist like Chris Brown, Kehlani, any of the new R&B music. So nothing specific. Next question. Do you have a guilty pleasure with food? I love chocolate, guys. Give me some chocolate covered M&Ms. Give me some anything chocolate. Chocolate is my guilty pleasure. I love it. I love it. I love it. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Are you still struggling with insomnia? Yes, I am. It's gotten a little better. So I talked to my doctor about the insomnia. Y'all know that I posted this on Instagram if you're following along on my Instagram. So I posted this about insomnia where so there's two different types of insomnia. One where people have trouble falling asleep, one where people can fall asleep easily and then they wake up. I have no trouble falling asleep. I could fall asleep not at the drop of a hat. Like I'm talking about like if I'm tired on the couch, I'm quiet, it's quiet, I'm watching TV, I can fall asleep. Where I have trouble is I wake up. And I've always had insomnia as a kid. So I'm not I'm used to it. Like that's my baseline. Like 5 a.m. I function on 6 hours of sleep. I'm good. But the problem is recently, probably starting in October of 2024, I started having issues where I was waking up at 4 a.m. Cool. I slept 6-7 hours. I'm good. I'm not tired. Whatever. Then it started becoming 3:30 a.m., 3 a.m., 2:30 a.m., to the point of 1 a.m. I'm going to bed at 9. I'm waking up at 1. Okay, now I'm tired. Now it's annoying. Why am I wide awake at 1 a.m.? So, yes, I will say it's probably 20-30% better. Me and my doctor have talked about it. We've ran labs. We're thinking it's very stress induced because I have a lot of stress going on and possibly some hormone dysfunction, but more so stress induced. So we are working on cortisol patterns. I've done everything from wearing blue light blockers to turning my phone off to taking melatonin, magnesium, meditation, anything that can reduce the stress. But unfortunately, there's just a lot of life stressors at the moment. So I think once the life stressors pass, it will get better, but it's just a phase of life and I'm just going with it day by day. Next question. What's the pettiest reason you blocked someone? I'm not a blocker, so I don't have a petty reason. I'm not a blocker. The only time I ever have blocked someone is for me because I'm the person stalking, looking, whatever. I'm just not a blocker. And I don't know if y'all listened to past podcasts, but if you have, my father died when I was 10. The last thing I said to him was, I hate you. And so I always feel obligated to fixing things before endings. So I'm just not a blocker. If I block it, it's not for them, it's for me. Next one. Do you prefer being chased or doing the chasing? I mean, obviously as a woman, I think anyone, we all want that chased feeling, but I think I end up doing the chasing most of the time. And that's probably why I end up in situationships. But obviously I think anyone prefers being chased. But at the end of the day, I think we all have to realize games end, right? You can't chase and be chased all the time. Games end. And I think that's where I have a problem in dating is that people want it to continue and it's just not going to continue. Anyways, next question. We're almost done, guys. Here we are on the last few. What's one thing a man always gets wrong about you? What's one thing a man always gets wrong about you? I think that men think because I'm so independent and so strong, and that gives off a lot of masculine energy that I don't want to be taken care of. And that's not true. I want to be able to give into my feminine energy, but I can't do that until a man steps up and becomes in their masculine energy. I feel because I have taken care of myself for so long, the childhood trauma that I've been through where I had to take care of myself for so long, that I feel like I have to take care of myself all the time, whether that be in a relationship or not. And I think that it's going to take a truly strong man to step up and be like, no, I got you, for me to be able to fall back and take care of myself. Next question. If someone sent you a DM right now, what would make you actually reply? Guys, I reply to everything. I'm a fast texter. I'm a fast replier. I just don't like notifications. So, and I think that's what also trips me up in dating. People are like, oh, wow, she replied so fast. She's so interested. No, I just don't like notifications. Like, I don't know if I have a form of autism or if I have something wrong with me, but when there's a notification on my phone, it literally gives me anxiety. So I try to get rid of it as soon as I can. What's the most savage thing you've ever said during a breakup? I don't think I have a savage thing during a breakup. I think that I do obviously say the truth, and I think that it makes people think, and 9 out of 10 times the guys that I say it to come back and say you were right. But whether that's within a week, a month, a year, whatever, most of the people that I say the things that I say to is always based on truth. And I've been given the gift of that. Like, I can easily put my feelings into words. I actually do better in text versus in person, where I can have time to ruminate on what I need to say. And my aunt has always taught me, stick to the facts. So stick to the facts, put a little emotion in it. And I think that people sometimes then are like, okay, you know what I'm saying? All right, next question. Are you the heartbreaker or the brokenhearted? I would say 9 out of 10 times I'm the brokenhearted, because I fall in love with a lot of people that don't love me back. So I am constantly breaking my own heart. I don't necessarily think that they are breaking my heart. I think people show me who they are, but I just refuse to see who they are. I'm trying to get better at that. It's going to take a lot of therapy, but I think that I would say that I'm brokenhearted. Next question. Do you believe in closure, or is silence the closure? Listen, silence is not my forte. I'm always trying to say how I feel. Maybe I should have been a therapist. Maybe I was a therapist in my past life, but I also think that some people sometimes just need feedback. I know that I'm like therapy that has been given to me, whether that be a therapist, a life coach, my aunt giving me advice, they say silence is closure. That is not my forte. Next question. What's the best revenge? Moving on, glowing up or blocking? The best revenge? The best revenge is loving yourself. I don't think it's any of these. Sure, you can move on. Sure, you can block. Sure, you can glow up. But at the end of the day, I think it's respecting yourself and loving yourself. And that's the best revenge, because once you respect yourself and love yourself, then all the others follow, right? Like, you glow up, you move on. Whether it be blocking or not, you don't have to, because you can mentally block, right? But I don't do that, so don't take my advice. Next question. How's the house situation going? Same. Can't talk about it. Can't comment on it. I will talk about that later. Sorry, I could not answer this in more detail, but hopefully later. Next question. What's the number one thing on your bucket list right now? The number one thing is probably traveling. I'm getting almost to 40. I'll be 38 soon. I do want to start traveling because I want to be able to see the world, see different, cultures and everything that comes with that. So that is my number one bucket list right now. But obviously you have to have money to travel. So I'm trying to save up. I'm trying to work as much as I can and be as hardworking as I can for retirement so that I will be able to travel. It's probably not going to happen for a little bit of time, but that is my goal. Like, my aunt travels all the time. She talks to me about traveling and how awesome it is and how much fun she has doing it. But we also have to be realistic in the economy that we're in. And, hopefully I will be able to do that. Like, I would love to see Europe and different cultures and just experience that beauty. But at the same time, I have to be realistic. Like, I have to save for retirement and I have to be responsible as an adult because I am single and a female and stuff like that. So that would be on my bucket list, would be to travel. Next question. I think we have a couple more. If someone wanted to impress you, what's the move? I will say this. Communication is the best. Like, I don't care about your looks. Well, I mean, I do to a certain degree. Like, I have to be obviously attracted to you. But if you can't carry a conversation past, hey, how are you doing? That's just not the move. If you talk about all your money, that's not the move. Like, I feel like money comes and goes with people, like jobs come and go, traveling comes and goes, looks come and go. We're all aging. But the one thing is like your heart, that's not going to change. Your personality is not going to change for the most part. Like we can all go to therapy and improve ourselves, whatever. But as far as like what's going to impress me, that's going to be what's sustaining. Like what can sustain you. That's impressive. Next and last question. Yay, we're at the last question, guys. Would you ever go on a reality dating show? Funny story. I actually would. I actually applied to be on Love is Blind Nashville. It hasn't came to fruition yet, but I did apply because I was like, you know what? I feel like we all do date for looks, and I am trying to look for that forever person based on communication and personality. So why not? And I don't know if I got picked. Haven't heard anything. This was a couple of years ago. I did have some conflicting dates because I had a vacation coming up, so maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I did apply for Love is Blind. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not going to do Love Island. I'm not going to do something crazy because I'm not that young. My body is not built for that. Anyways, but I would be very open to it. So yeah. I think that was all the questions. So thank you all for submitting questions. Those were really good. I cannot believe we turned this into a much longer podcast than I anticipated. I hope y'all were entertained. I hope that answered all your questions about me that you all have been asking or wanting to know. So thank you all for submitting the questions. And until next time, guys, bye.